G'day folks, my name's Michael Poulos and I'm the maker of Codseeker lures. I was talking to a lure collector the other day and he suggested that I just take the time out to make this short video and just do a short history of Codseeker lures, how they started, and also give other lure collectors a reference point to when certain models were made, how they were made, and for how long they're actually in production for. So here we are. I'll first give you a very brief history of the Codseekers. Back in 2001, a friend of mine and I got together, and after a few sketches we came up with the very first 185mm Codseeker lure. That original lure had an aluminium bib and was a lot bulkier than the actual first 185 that went to market. We did some testing out at Split Rock Dam and started to get fish on them, and at the same time I made a few up and sent them down to the Murray River, and they were tested by Rod Mackenzie, who of course caught fish on them, and from there the word got out and I started stocking some shops along the Murray River, Swan Hill and places like that. So to keep things pretty simple, I think I'll just put up some graphics as I'm narrating this, and you can see the lures, and I'll also pop up some dates when those lures were made. Won't get too involved, just keep it simple and anybody can reference this video and date their lures. Okay, so let's start with the very first 185mm. Now the 185mm was in production from 2001 to 2005. It was a lure that tapered back towards the tail and was made using a router, and basically was shaped up and just had the corners removed with the router. 2mm polycarbonate bib, and that's it. Dove to about 20-25 feet, and that was it. In production 2001 to 2005. At the same time, I also brought out a flat-sided 150mm model, and it was in production from 2001 to 2005 also. Made differently, it was made on a spindle moulder, and the top and bottom were totally rounded, totally rolled over. A bit further down the track in that same time period, 2001 to 2005, a 110mm flat-sided came to the market, again totally rounded top and bottom, and it too was in production from 2001 to 2005. Having said that, at 2005, those three lures I just mentioned ceased production. So moving on to 2005 to 2009, the production method went to a three-dimensional copy lathe. The lures were still made of timber, but they were made using the copy lathe, which meant the lures became a totally rounded lure, no flat sides at all. So in that time, 2005 to 2009, the 150, 110 and 80mm rounded lures were in production, made with a 3D copy lathe. Late 2009, there was one more model made, and that was the 150 deep diving with a wired bib. Probably only made 200 of those lures, so if you have one of those, they were made 2009. 2009, those pre-mentioned lures, the 150, the 110 and the 80 rounded, ceased production. And in 2009, I turned my attention to surface lures. So between 2009 and present date, which is 2016, I was making 3 surface lures. The first one was a 90mm timber surface lure with a 1.5mm polycarbonate bib, a 115mm jointed lure with a polycarbonate 1.5mm bib, and a 102mm creeper style lure with aluminium wings. Now, in 2013 was when the 115mm jointed came out, and it was only in production for about 12 months. And because of popularity, or lack of popularity, I dropped the jointed, and this point in time, February 2016, I'm just making the 90mm surface lure and the 102mm creeper. Well, that's about it. I hope it's put some stuff in perspective and gives you lure collectors some kind of reference point. Should you have something that's a bit out of character or need to know anything more about Codseeker lures, please contact me via my website, MurrayCodFishing.net, and I'm only too happy to answer your questions. Well, thanks for watching, folks, and happy lure collecting.